Well, this week we're going to highlight some additional purchases by China of U.S. corn. We're also going to talk about a record pace of U.S. corn export shipments in the latest week. And then we're going to focus on weather trends in Brazil. Hi, this is Brian Basting with Advanced Trading. Let's talk about the corn market. We've moved into the second half of March here, and as usual, things are hopping once again. Let's get right to it. Let's take a look at the unshipped U.S. corn export sales pace, again, as we move into March. Now, we'll continue to highlight this slide because of what we're going to tell you in a moment. We're looking at the unshipped export sales of U.S. corn in the red line. Now, they are coming down, so we're actually exporting more per week than we're selling, but we're still looking at a tremendous volume relative to last year increase. And so we're looking at a big portion of that being a 446 million bushel increase in unshipped sales to China. Now we're going to highlight that China also came in this week on Tuesday and bought another 1.15 million tons of U.S. corn. That's about 45 million bushels. So that will be reported in an upcoming export sales report. So really looking at an unshipped sales total that's unprecedented. And this past week we did see a record level of shipments for this week of 86 million bushels of corn. So it really looks like it's finally starting to kick in here in terms of the rapid increase in U.S. corn exports. Let's move on now and look at those total sales of U.S. corn for the year. And we looked at unshipped sales a moment ago. Here we're looking at total sales. This is what's been shipped already and the unshipped sales of 2.343 billion bushels for this year. That's a record for this year. Now we're highlighting that because of the USDA for the entire year is forecasting only 2.6 billion. So we're already at 90% of that total for the year. So it really suggests that either we're going to see some cancellations perhaps down the road of that U.S. corn export sales number, or maybe the USDA number is too conservative. Here's the wild card though. We continue to talk about this, that ASF red flag or yellow flag in this case, African swine fever is resurfacing in China. So we've got a lot of over 400 million bushels pushing 500 million bushels on the books to China in terms of unshipped corn sales that could be at risk if something were to reach a catastrophic stage. Again, not saying that today, but it's a wild card to keep an eye on. And this is where you really want to continue to work closely with your trusted risk management advisor to manage this price movement. Let's move on now and highlight Brazilian corn prospects. Now again, this is where the double crop or second season corn is produced in Brazil. We're looking now in Mato Grosso, that number one second season corn producing state, at 88% planted as of late last week. Really the opportunity to plant corn, the very edge of planting corn in Brazil is at an end here in mid-March. They could take a chance, but it'd be like planting corn in the Midwest past about the middle of June. You just don't have enough time for the crop to mature, particularly as we move on now and look at the rainy season. The rainy season is going to decline now in March and into April. Notice as we move into May and June, rainy season ends and the dry season begins. Let's highlight the short-term forecast for Brazil. Our slides, as usual, are courtesy of T-Storm Weather. Now we're looking at a different pattern setting up beginning Friday through Sunday here, a drier pattern. Now 3 weeks ago, that would have been welcomed in terms of the Brazilian producer to get more Safrinha corn planted. But now the issue is as we move into the latter half of March here and into April, again, is this a clue that maybe we're going to see the dry season kick in early? That would be devastating to a late planted corn crop. Not saying that, but it's something to keep an eye on. Look at 88% of the Mato Grosso Safrinha corn planted, only 36% in Paraná. So really the producers are running out of time to plant that Safrinha corn. They'll probably try again this week, but really it's getting very late. Moving on to the weather the next 14 days, it does look like a little bit of a drier pattern. Maybe the very end of the Safrinha corn will be planted here. But again, there's to be a point here, I would say by the end of the month, definitely into April, where a drier pattern will become negative to the crop because obviously we're going to need that moisture to extend longer this year because the crop is being planted later. Let's wrap things up briefly looking at December corn futures. Now we'll continue to look at this slide here. We're looking at December corn well above recent years here, and it's at the highest level for February, or since February, I should say, since March of 2014. So really looking at some opportunities here again between those yellow vertical bars between the February base crop insurance period and the October harvest price. where volatility could remain quite high. Now, if you'd like more information, please feel free to contact us at 800-664-2321. We'll put you in contact with one of our risk management consultants who'll be happy to visit with you at your convenience. And remember, we upload every Wednesday. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to never miss an upload. Thanks a lot. Have a good week.